New products. It's new product time.
Yes.
All right, first up, we have the pie dish.
Yes.
That we launched, and
can I show it on the overhead?
yeah, I'm gonna switch over to the overhead for you, and then we also have a short little video.
So this is the pie dish with the display on it, and I'm just showing how this is what I'm doing to prototype my projects now. So I've got a nice large breadboard and the cobbler, and I have plenty of space to put projects in, and then it holds the pie nice solidly.
Yeah, and here's a video.
Lately here at Adafruit, we've been going crazy for the Raspberry Pi. This $35 Linux computer sure has a lot of potential, and we've been having a great time bringing you the best accessories. We have the Pi prototyping plate and the cobbler, and we also released a special Getting Started with Raspberry Pi kit that includes all of the goodies, including our acrylic Raspberry Pi box, which you might remember from this video. We even went so far as to make our own Linux distribution, so it's super easy for makers to get started using the Pi right away. And today I want to show you the Raspberry Pi dish. It's this versatile prototyping plate with a full-size breadboard and special mounting clips so you can put the Raspberry Pi either way, depending on what video output you're going to use. Let me show you how to put it together.
Just peel the protective paper from the laser cut acrylic and then position your Pi the way you want it. There are etchings on the acrylic for the RCA port and the audio jack that's easy to line up. And then peel the paper backing off your breadboard and stick that down to this large rectangle. The Raspberry Pi doesn't have any mounting holes, so we've included these special clips. You might want to hold it with pliers in position while you insert the screws. We couldn't forget our famous rubber bumpers that help keep everything steady on the table. You could do your prototyping on the breadboard and then hook up all of your computer peripherals and start up your Pi. I'm running Occidentalist Adafruit's Black Raspberry Linux distribution.
We've been making some really fun Raspberry Pi tutorials, so head over to the Adafruit Learning System to go try those out and get your feet wet. And I can't wait to see your Pi project on an upcoming episode of our weekly show and tell on Google Plus on Saturday nights. Thanks so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube.
Okay, all right, so we're just going to keep zipping along here. We've got GPS antennas.
Yes. So this is an antenna, and I got this specifically for the Ultimate GPS module that we have, which has a UFL connector, and you can use an external antenna. And people are like, well, what external antenna would you suggest? And I was like, we'll have one in the store really shortly. It's an active antenna, so it draws like, you can look at the issue, but like 10 to 25 milliamps, but it gives you like 28 dB of gain. So like, this is like pretty much, if you add this to the Ultimate GPS, it pretty much doesn't matter where you are. If there's any GPS signal at all, you will grab it.
Okay.
And it's magnetic, so you can stick it on top of cars and stuff.
So next up, speaking of GPSs.
Yeah.
What's this?
We've got little miniature Ultimate GPS modules.
Yeah, I'll go to the overhead.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
So we have the Ultimate GPS breakout board, but there's some people who are like, hey, I want to have like my own project which has a really teeny GPS. And this is like the smallest GPS with the most like capabilities. So it's 10 hertz updates. It's got 66 channel tracking. It's got like minus 165 dB sensitivity. It only draws 20 milliamps, so you can power it off of a microcontroller pin. Like an Arduino pin can actually power the whole thing. It has an internal antenna. As you can see, this is a nice thin antenna, but it also can use an external antenna, like the active antenna will automatically switch between the two, which is fantastic. It has pulse per second out. I think it's 100 milliseconds, or maybe it's like 50 millisecond pulse per second after it has fix. So you have to have fix, and then it'll give you pulse per second. It has battery, like external V backup support, so you can have like a battery to keep the internal almanac and the real-time clock. What else does it have? It has a built-in data logging capability that I like so much, so you can store up to like, I think 15 hours of logging data inside automatically, and it'll just log once a second. It can drive a fixed LED. I don't know, it has it all. We've tested it up to 25 kilometers. We had some friends who sent up a balloon, and it kept fixed up to 27 kilometers or so. So we think if you're doing anything up to 25 kilometers, this should be good.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
ultimate.
It sounds ultimate. Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty ultimate.
All right, let's keep moving. We gotta get through these. We might be like a couple minutes over. Hey, look, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Okay, next up.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. We're gonna be.
We're back.
Raspberry Pi thing.
Okay.
Okay. So next up, powered hub.
Yeah, so this is a powered hub, and I can show this. I don't have anything powered onto it because I didn't want to actually have something powered. But this is we actually bought a whole bunch of different powered hubs, and this one won by far for being not only the best hub, but also at a very reasonable price.
Yeah.
It's a 7-port hub, and it comes with a 2-amp power adapter. Some of the cheaper ones only came with 1 amp, which I didn't like. It comes with a full 2-amp power adapter. And you can plug it into 240 or 110 volts. You can use it internationally if you buy just like a physical plug adapter. And it has the USB cable built in. It comes with a USB extender. And so this is really good for stuff like the BeagleBone and the Raspberry Pi, where you want to have a hub. But one of the problems with the Raspberry Pi is that the fuse for the USB ports are only 140 milliamps. So you can't actually connect like more than like 1 or 2 things on an unpowered hub. And it won't even power some Wi-Fi adapters or some USB keys. They draw too much power. So you add this powered hub, and it basically the power comes from the 5-volt adapter, and inside is a single chip that provides all 7 ports. It's USB 2.0, which is good because it can do video. It's high speed.
Yeah, the cheap ones chain them all together, right?
Yeah, the cheap ones have 2 USB 1 hubs, and so like you get 7 ports, but it's like it's not. The computers don't like it. It's very slow, and you can't run like we tried to use our USB microscope on it, for example.
Yeah. So by the way, like I have a really complicated setup on my personal workstation, and it has lots of USB stuff, and it was no hub ever worked before because I have a printer that goes through parallels. I've got multiple HD web
cameras. And they're all powered from the USB,
all
so
powered.
They're like the camera, everything's sucking 500 milliamps, and actually it doesn't work out. So this is really nice. So you'll really you'll be able to get like really good performance.
And it works with the Pi.
Works for the Pi. Works for the BeagleBone. Also works for the Mac. Works with Windows. It should work with like all computers pretty much. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Right.
And I really like that it comes with a good 2-amp power adapter, and it's like $23.
Okay. Next up, this is something we're really excited about because we spent a long time and a lot of money trying to find the best way to portably power a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, this is a little mini setup we made. I used the 2.5 inch NTSC displays that we carry, and I powered it because it runs on 5 volts. I powered it off of the Pi, and then powered the Pi off of the battery pack, and then used the wireless keyboard. So a little wireless setup.
So, I don't know. So far, I've only seen tethered Pis, but this is completely wireless Pi.
Yeah, this is a wireless Pi.
And it has a wireless dongle, and it's getting its power from the power pack.
Well, I unplugged the Wi-Fi, but and it's running our sample script, so it's displaying the time, which you can't see very well, but it's running everything. And the really cool thing about this battery pack, can I show them the overhead?
Yeah.
Overhead for a moment. So, first off, it's a really well-made power pack. It has this metal thing, which it's meant to like hold cell phones and stuff. It has the built-in USBs, so you don't have to have a separate cable to keep it powered in. So this plugs into the back. It's 330 milliamp hours, so it's a really beefy battery. And it has 2 outputs, and this output here it's called the fast charge output, and it's meant for like iPads and stuff, but it gives you a full amp. A lot of the cheaper battery packs that we tried, I have a box of like 8 battery packs. I tried like every single one available, and they only provide 500 milliamps, and a Raspberry Pi actually wants 700 milliamps. It was actually just enough that it would draw too much power and either set off the fuse, or it would just brown out. It wouldn't run. You couldn't run Wi-Fi at the same time, for example. And this, because it has the 1 amp output, it has a really good boost converter inside. We could run it with like an LCD and the SD card and a Wi-Fi adapter and a keyboard all plugged in. And we did a test where we charged all the way, and we ran the Raspberry Pi with Wi-Fi, and we were pinging the computer every second to make sure it was still alive, and also to keep the Wi-Fi dongle from going into power save mode. So we wanted to make sure really tested it, and a keyboard. They had a small keyboard, and it ran for 5.5 hours exactly.
Yeah.
So without Wi-Fi, it might run for like 6 hours or so. But it is a little expensive, and it is kind of a big battery. But the Raspberry Pi is a computer, and it's not. They didn't end up. They sacrificed some of the power efficiency for reducing the price. So for example, instead of a buck converter, there's a linear regulator. So there's like 30 milliamps you lose there. or 40 milliamps. But I think they had to make a choice, and they decided like, okay, we want to make this low cost. So
Yeah.
you do need to have a fairly big battery pack to drive it. But this one runs it for like almost 6 hours. So
Okay.
it's good for portable projects.
And those new products got through it. Very good. We're in WASP tonight. She'd be proud. Okay.